Hi, it's Kathy Hampton here from Wellside Retreats. Welcome back to my channel, where usually lately I've been doing a lot of journaling with you on Tuesdays and Thursday mornings. And most recently, I've taken a scouting trip to Portugal to look for housing. And that's what this video is about. Before I get started with all of that, I want to introduce myself a little further for those who have not seen my channel before. My name is Kathy Hampton. I'm the founder of Wellside Retreats, which is a transformational destination retreat and life coaching service. I help Black women move away from what no longer serves them and help them move toward a place of their choosing to get unstuck, to find peacefulness in their own right, and to live well, which includes the body, mind, and spirit. And if this is something that you want to hear more about, this is really for women who are in the age ranges of 45, 50 plus years of age, who are experienced and mature, and have found that they don't know what steps to take when they've reached a certain point in their life, who've struggled with, toxicity on the job, who've had toxic relationships, maybe have been divorced or caretakers, and are caught in the sandwich position where they are taking care of younger people as well as their parents or older people in their lives, and need to find a way forward for themselves instead of taking care of others. And that's what I help coach coach for any of those things where we are finding that change is happening all around us, but we are not necessarily changing for ourselves intentionally. So, if this is something that you want to hear more of, please do me a favor. If you are not already a subscriber, please thumbs up, subscribe. There's a subscribe button there. Subscribe and ring the notification bell. Ring the little bell so that you'll be made aware of when a new video is uploaded. So this video really is kind of a review of my trip back to Porto or Portugal, where I am going through the process of relocating to Portugal. There are videos where I talk about Portugal, my 3-month sabbatical here, where I stayed in the likes of Centrus, Cascais area. Then I moved into Lisbon for a month and then came to Porto. And Porto is where I decided that I would consider living. And I have a video, and I'll put that in the description so that you can watch that. But I also had been scouting Mexico, Mexico City in particular. Stephanie Perry, who I call my mentor, from Vicarious and Exodus Summit, interviewed me on her channel about scouting out or retreating to Mexico City back in June 2021. That video was, I believe, aired in July of 2021. And I talked about how I was giving consideration to moving to Mexico City and actually had looked at Oaxaca. And most recently, this past year, back to Mexico to visit San Miguel de Allende, Mexico. I was there twice within a month and loved San Miguel de Allende, Mexico, and actually started thinking, you know what? Maybe I should move there. You know, it's amazing what happens when you have lots of choices or you feel that, that you're blessed enough to have choices and being able to dream of where you might want to spend time, a new place to live, a new environment to live in. And so I had to finally decide what I was going to do because back in 2021 and 2022, actually, during the sabbatical, I thought that I would already be in Portugal um, by now and established residency. But you know, life happens, things happen, and yeah, I haven't finished the process yet of relocation or residency, and it is a good thing that um, I didn't. I started taking steps toward it, and then ended up uh, coming back to Philadelphia, and spending time kind of getting myself together. There were some things I had not finished. I had to finish those things, and so it's been since 2022 that I am I haven't moved forward with the plans, but taking steps. Not fully there yet, and it's okay. It really is okay. You have to do what you have to do, and I've been working at it. Believe me, been been taking the steps, making moves, but also taking care of my business so that um, this new move would be sufficient and easier for me from various standpoints, various ways that you look at it, financial, um, emotional. I had to deal with relationships that are dear to me. I had to um, yeah, take care of some business, unattended business, and I've done that. And so I'm actually recording this video from Porto, from a guest house that I've stayed at when I was here last, and it's very comfortable to me. It's old and has a lot of character, well maintained by the hosts. And I felt like home when I was here the first time, and I even feel more at home now for the second time. And it's been the base for me to come out and scout for a new home here in Porto. So first, let me, I'm looking at notes, by the way, because I want to talk to you in an orderly way since there is so much going on with this trip. First of all, the purpose of apartment hunting. Why do I have to come here before I even have residency? Well, don't they give you residency when and then you shop once you get here? No. Uh, Portuguese plan or process for gaining residency actually requires you to have an address and to have lock down a place where you plan on living. And it has actually changed quite a bit since I initially thought I would be here. Uh, that you have to have a lease, and it has to be kind of like a code. In the United States, we have zoning codes or things are zoned as something. Well, here the housing that you have to get, it has to be accepted by the consulate or the immigration department once you get here, is that your housing has to be a long-term habitational dwelling. It can't be Airbnb. It can't be a short-term um, uh, place that you live, um, or it's not acceptable for the purposes of residency for the D7. At least that's what I believe is for the D7 visa to come to Portugal. The other thing is that it has to have like a full kitchen. It has to be designated so that you can cook meals for yourself. It has good electricity, it has been registered with the finance department to collect, rents and taxes. Um, so the dwelling has to be registered with the finance department. And it's all really what I've come to realize in my best interest, in those who are seeking a residency here. It's in our best interest to go along with this process. We don't want to be in a Airbnb situation and they pull the rug from under you while you are just trying to plant your feet here. So, and that has been part of what I learned since I've been here. I was looking at what was supposed to be a long term place to live, but in fact, it was not. It was temporary. It wasn't long term, and I was luckily I have guidance and advice from a relocation specialist that I'm using, and they were like, "Oh no, this won't work," and it was perfect. I mean, it was perfect. It met all my preferences. We'll talk about my preferences in a minute, but it met every preference that I had, and yeah, even in I even decided that I was going to take the furniture that was so great for the place. And that was not necessarily my preference. I mean, it could have gone either way, but this place was so perfect, too good to be true, unfortunately. So, um, yeah, so those are the things that what I've learned you have to have when moving here. And, to my benefit, I was blessed to have the relocation specialist help me with that and determine where I could look for other housing choices. And so I gave myself and I gave the relocation um, housing people the 2 weeks. I said I have to do this in 2 weeks. I'm not going to be looking around. I hate doing that in the United States, looking around for places for a month. 2 weeks and done. And I came up to the last day of my um, of the 2 weeks uh, and signed yesterday. Today I will be leaving. As this is being recorded, this is my last day in Porto for the 2 weeks. So I accomplished my goal. 2 weeks, I found a place. I'm happy with it. And did it meet all my preferences? Mm, yeah, kind of. So the reason I'm looking, I will share this. The reason I decided to look during this time of year, it is the second day of March at this recording. I decided to come in March. It was planned February actually. So planned because of the thinking that the prices are going to be lower during this time of the year, as well as more of a inventory, rental inventory. I don't know if that is the case. I do know that people have complained that during the summer months, it has been difficult to find things at a certain price. It may not have been um, lack of um, of inventory, but more so the prices are higher as you get closer to the summer months because people are thinking, oh, well, it's time to rent something for holiday, for the summer. And then, the prices go up. Well, there were some price decreases, lowering of prices on some of the places that I looked at. But there's also here is customary for there to be negotiation. Yes, negotiation. Um, uh, Not so much sometimes in the US, according to, my experience, but some people do negotiate rents and perks or accommodations, whatever, in the States. I've tried to do that, I think once or twice, and was told, no, we're not going to negotiate anything. So um, I did not anticipate that being a thing to do here, and it was. And I've also checked with, I have an accountability buddy, and her custom was to negotiate also, and that's what she did. And so I'm learning as I go. And, things like this is a pretty big step to take. Um, and I'm learning as I go. I don't know everything, won't even pretend to know everything. Um, and I was pleasantly surprised at the fact that I could negotiate the terms. Um, so they were at my advantage, and happy with that. So, in the video that I did with Rashida Dow of Exodus Summit, and Sheeta's is also Doe now. But when that video was done, I I actually talked about the sabbatical that I took because I took Rashida's course on getting ready for a sabbatical or a career break. And I talked about Porto and was asked, what was it about Porto? And Porto, to me, it was just a feeling I had about it. It wasn't actually what it looked like per se. Um, the aesthetics weren't the first thing to grab me. It was how the people moved about and how related to the people that I met here. In Lisbon, it's it was more crowded. There's lots to see. I met lots of people. Um, I met expats. I met locals. I met other people who were new, who had come from Mozambique, from Brazil, who were still finding their way here. I met all of them, but I think it was a combination of things that drew me to Porto. And the first thing was the feel. The second was the neighborhood, the various neighborhoods that I could identify with and I felt comfortable in. Um, and it wasn't as big and wasn't as hilly. There are some hills here, believe it or not. There are some hills here. I shouldn't say believe it or not, because if you know anything about Portugal itself, it's a lot of hills. There are some flat towns and spaces, a lot of hills here. And Porto had them, but not like Lisbon, the Lisbon area. So I was pleased about that. And it was just, I think I felt a little more calm here. And I'm all about peacefulness. I'm trying to find the peace and keep the peace in the environment that I want to spend. And it's a little cooler here in Porto, which I did not necessarily want, but there was lots of sunshine. And when I was here, it only rained once. They said it was unseasonably warm when I was here. And since I've been here for this 2 weeks, it has rained quite often, but it rains and then it stops. Then the sun is coming out. The sun just came out right now as I'm talking to you. It's not raining right now, and then it'll get dark and it'll start raining. But you know what? I understand that there's uh, something, I guess, similar to a drought in some parts of Portugal. So I'm going to say, bring on the rain. It is winter because we don't want the cost of foods to go up, you know, um, and yeah, produce or any of those things. We want to keep the prices down so it can rain all at once. I'm comfortable with it. People get out, take their umbrellas, put on their jackets, and they're out and going about around here. They don't stay in just because it's raining, and I'm trying to act like a local. So I I felt, and it's not that cold. It's a little humid, but it's not that cold. So that is right now. So I'm all good with it. So Porto actually stole my heart because of the people, and not that I'm warm and fuzzy with everyone, but people are genuinely kind. They're people. They're It's interesting. They are hesitant until you start talking and then asking questions or comments. And not everyone speaks English, but I've been working with my translator. I've been doing the whole sign language. There are some words I understand in Portuguese, and sometimes they understand words that are in English, and we just roll with it. But people then become very, I guess there's a connection formed. Everybody's at ease with one another, and I really liked that when I was here. There's also I don't know there's a great food scene here. There's a great design. Uh, yeah, there are designers here. There are artists, and there's a lot of art. There's lots of textile. Um, uh, I guess craft or here as well. And so that drew my interest. Their museums include a large photography museum. There's an architecture museum. There's all kinds of things that deal with the arts and the trades. And I was drawn to that and can't wait to see more of it. So the culture is great. Now, I consider, there's of lots of construction going on right now, and I think it was a kind of holdover since the pandemic. Things were not moving forward, but they're building a new train line, the Pink Line. Yeah, Pink, Pink. The Pink Line is coming, and so they're digging deep underground here. There are new apartment buildings coming up. Um, and I believe that's because there's a shortage of housing here, and that's all around the world. Um, but they're experiencing that, and so construction is going on. In fact, the apartment that I actually chose down the street, not right next to me, but down the street, there's one major construction going on, and then there's like a big dig construction on the other side. So there's a lot going on, and that's just the way it rolls. I think it's good for the city as well as for the economy, and all the people who need housing here. So, aesthetically, there's lots of old architecture, and then there's some modern architecture, and can't figure out what period it is, but there are a lot of apartments with balconies here. There's lots of apartments that have this metal sheeting, corrugated metal sheeting on the backs of them. Um, yeah, I don't know what to call the modern stuff. There is Art Deco. You can tell the Art Deco period on some of the older buildings. Um, and and then there are lots of ruins, as they call them, and they could be right next door to a nice new building, or a nice older building, but there could be an abandoned building right next door. So it is that way in Lisbon. It is that way in Mexico. It is that way in Philadelphia. Major cities have these issues, but doesn't take away from, for me at least. And I'm different. I could be different from you, who the next guy or the next person, um, but that doesn't bother me so much. Um, there is a graffiti everywhere, just as it is in Lisbon. Um, and, some people don't like that. Then there are very pristine neighborhoods with beautiful houses. Um, and one area where I was looking, actually, in one neighborhood, it's called Foz de Duro. Foz is Foz. I found one place. There's a modern building amongst some more traditional housing, and right near the water. That's what I really wanted, but it was just entirely too small for me. And I know the European style is small, um, but yeah, not that small. Some of the older buildings are larger, um, have nice size rooms. The apartment that I have is modern and has small rooms, and that's what I found. It has nice lighting. It's across the street from a cat corner to a neighborhood park. It has a dog park. It also has a recreation center, which is also near a elementary school. But it's also close to it is in the neighborhood that I like, and that is called Bonfim, Bonfim, the Bonfim neighborhood, where there's plenty of cafes, there are shops, grocery stores, um, yeah, just any nail salons, um, yeah. So bookstores, you know, I, um, and then there are co-working spaces, co-working cafes. So it is also in a hub. Campo 24 Augusto is the name of the hub, the transportation hub. Campo 24 uh, Augusto is the name of the transportation hub, where there are buses as well as the metro, underground metro, and takes you in all directions throughout the Porto area. That is what I really look forward to. And I will be a block and a half, maybe 2 blocks away from the hub. And I'm very excited about that. So it checked off most of everything on the list, except I wanted to be closer. I wanted to be like a block from the hub. And there was a certain street I wanted to be on, and there was nothing that close. That first apartment that I told you about was actually the perfect one, the one that was more like an Airbnb, a temporary housing. Yeah, that was the one that checked off everything. Um, my apartment, I asked that it not be furnished. And the reason for that is because that my taste and culturally, I believe here they use a lot of big furniture, even in smaller apartments, even though some of them are, have put IKEA furniture and then there's smaller apartment furniture. Sometimes you'll find that it'll be a small apartment, but they have a large couch that you would put in a in a den in a regular size um, house, or yeah, in a regular size house. And I don't want to be claustrophobic and the couch taking up most of the room. So I asked that they not furnish it, and I'd be able to do so on my own, with vintage furniture pieces. Um, yeah, however I decide to do it. Um, for to start, all I need is a bed and 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 maybe a table for to eat on. So, well, we're going to start small and build up, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Um, let's see what else is on. Okay, I told you about the desired neighborhood vibe. Yeah, desired neighborhood vibe for Bonfim. There's a mix of young, old demographically, or um, and I believe there are some expats in Bonfim, quite a few expats, but I don't know there. And it looks like it's a mixed race, mixed nationality. Um, I didn't stop and ask anybody where they're from, but I can just tell there's all kinds of people here, um, including locals. Um, I believe there are quite a few Brazilian people. There's people from Africa. Um, and I've actually found some business owners from um, who were Brazilian, from Mozambique or Angola, here in a neighborhood called Boa Vista in Porto. So yeah, they own cafes, barbershops, hair extension, hair braiding, locticians. I ran into their shops just by getting around looking for an apartment. I found other things. I also found different markets in different parts that serve other needs. There are huge marketplaces where you go and get um, vegetables or produce, along with you know wine, and they're beautiful markets. Then there are some beautiful malls that I found also that I didn't know about this trip. That if that's what you want to do, go shopping. It's all here. And yes, they do have designer malls. They have, you know, we call them A, B, and C malls. They have A, B, C, D malls. They have dollar stores up the wazoo. So it just depends on what you want to do with your money. There's a price for everybody. So, yeah. So I checked off, I'm going to say everything on the list for my apartment. Um, it's smaller than I've ever lived in, but I have a balcony, and that's going to be nice because that's considered living space. And the balcony goes from one side to the other, takes up the width of the apartment. So I'm excited about that. Um, yeah, so I um, that's been my scouting trip. I was able to do a lot of resting though. Also, I will say that um, I got off the plane and was feeling fine. The next day, I started getting this sinus issue, and I do have sinusitis um, quite often, but I wasn't expecting this. So I dealt with it on my own the best I could. And finally, I decided, you know what? Let me go check out the hospital. Maybe they can. And it was kind of like a field trip. They can prescribe me something or tell me if if I have something more than sinusitis. You know, um, and the hospital emergency room was absolutely wonderful. To have to go there, it wasn't full. There were two people there, me and another woman. They give you a ticket, they first check you in, and they ask you if you want an appointment to the emergency room. And I'm thinking, an appointment? You mean next week? You mean, like some other day? I'm not going to be here that long. Some other day. She says, oh no, like right now, you can make an appointment for now or for, 5 minutes from now when you're called. Sure, sign me up. Had an appointment and went to sit down and was called maybe 5 minutes later, truly. Was seen, had my vitals taken. I was in good shape. My lungs were fine. My blood pressure was a little high, which she anticipated since, I was congested. Um, and was prescribed 3 medications. One was to help with the cough, the pain with my chest pain with the cough. The other was kind of like Alka-Seltzer, but it was to alleviate phlegm, mm, reduce the phlegm that I was having. It was kind of almost choking. Um, and then, and it has helped, I will say, as well as a different type of nasal spray that I had that was more medicinal because I had saline solution. So this was going to kill any bug that I might have had also that was causing it. It works. So I'm very pleased with the medical attention I received. I'll give that, like 10 out of 10. Um, and just being curious got me in to seeing a doctor, a young woman physician, and she spoke English, um, and that worked. That worked. So I would just want to impart upon anyone considering relocating. And we all relocate for different reasons. And most recently, my 85-year-old mother asked me, "Now, why are you going over there again?" And I said, "Well, I'm at the point in my life, Mommy, that I want to see something new and different for myself. I want to be exposed to differences and I want to travel. I want to make Porto a base for me to travel. And because it's peaceful here, it's close to the beach and the water, the ocean, it's close to other natural things that I, can experience and expose myself to. I think that this is the place that I really want to be so that I can then travel to other parts of Europe and to Africa where I haven't traveled and make this my base. Because um, if you're like me and who doesn't listen to the news any longer, but listen to people telling me about what's happening in the news about our country as well as other places in the world, I prefer not to be in my country uh, right now. I really do. I don't want to be in my country right now. I've seen more of the United States than I can I than a lot of people have seen of the United States in my now 60 years. I've lived in quite a few of the places in the United States, visited there, and when someone says, "Where would you want to live in the United States?" I cannot, I cannot tell you where I would want to live. I lived in San Francisco. I lived in Sonoma County, California. I lived in the South Bay of San Francisco, Silicon Valley. I've lived in Arizona. I've lived in Texas, not for long stays, but both my parents are from there. Lived in Kansas. I've lived in Washington, D.C., Maryland, New Jersey. Um, I worked in New York, lived in Philadelphia. um, yeah, I think I'm missing one, but I've lived quite a few places and have family members in other states that I didn't mention, Florida, Michigan. I don't want to live in any one of those places at this time. So I figure, why not go someplace where it's peaceful right now? I know that it's peaceful and I haven't seen it before. I want to I want to see something different. And who knows? I don't have to plant myself here. I can move anytime I want to. Um, you know, uh, and so that's my plan is to come here, make this my base, and see as much of Portugal, Spain, other parts of Europe, head down, to Africa and see that, all different parts of that. Um, and so those are the reasons why I'm making Portugal, my home. Now, not everything is done yet. I just had that signed lease that I have to take to the consulate for my appointment in April. Um, and you know, who knows what could happen? This is the decision is not mine, but I have my papers in order. I'm working with a great relocation service, um, and that service is relocate to Portugal, and I have uh, all the things that are needed. I have a Portuguese bank account. I have, now an apartment. I have my NIF, my tax number, where you go to the grocery store and you give them your NIF. I have to start memorizing that thing because, you can get some discounts on stuff. You get write-offs on things. And so, yeah, I have my NIF. I have an apartment now. I will, when I come back, be able to ride for $40 a month anywhere I want on all the trains, buses, metros, wherever I need to go. And the 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 my emergency room visit was $116. Three medications prescribed totaled $26. And I'm going to see if I can get that claimed by using my insurance, my travel insurance. I'm not sure if that will be the case. There may be a deductible. I don't know. I think there might be. So I may not get that back. Maybe a deductible like 250, and I didn't exceed that. We'll see. I'll let you know. But everything is working out in my favor right now. There was some concern when I was trying to transfer money from my Portuguese account to my new landlord, and my it did not work on my app. My bank account was telling me that I couldn't do it, so we had to rush to the bank and actually take measures, and I'm glad that it happened. There's always a reason for something. So I got everything cleared up at the bank about using my account to transfer money, um, and that was good. And saved a bunch of money. I didn't want to use Wise to do an intra country transfer because that would have cost me more than the bank's transfer fees. So I'm dropping these nuggets so that if this is something that you're considering doing, you'll know. You'll know. So, let's see. So basically, reflecting on my scouting trip, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10 for these 2 weeks that it took me to find an apartment acceptable to my needs, clean, new, near walking distance to transportation, um, near a park, um, near some stairs that I can take for exercise, near some great shops. I think three grocery stores and plenty of their stuff. I'm not that far from kind of the tourist area, the downtown municipal area, like City Hall, also near great restaurants, hotels. I'm very excited about returning here in probably about 3 months. Yeah, and living here. And if you're interested in knowing more about Porto, about my journey to this place, um, and how to find peace or wellness for yourself, um, you know, just go to my website. And if you're interested in coaching, you can go to wellsideretreats.care and book a clarity call with me. If you are feeling like you want to do something new and exciting, I'll be happy to hold you accountable. I'll be happy to, um, work with you on making a plan and any perspective that I may have to share with you about how to make change intentionally in your life, if that is what you want for yourself. The other thing that I'd like you to do is go to wellsiteretreats.care. And if you're interested in a week long retreat to Mexico City, me and Kat McDonald of Rebloom Room are hosting and facilitating a retreat that we we were so inspired to do because we both love Mexico City and we love Mexico. And that retreat will be held April 10th through the 16th. And you can register for that. We still have space available. And we would love for you to attend. There are payment plans for that. So just get in contact with us, and we can send you the information. And if you know of anyone who you'd like to bring along with you, we will be relaxing, we will be connecting with others, and exploring Mexico City and what it has to offer culturally, what it has to offer as far as the wonderful food, the street food, various cuisines, and we will have our own chef who will host us at his supper club, but also will prepare wonderful breakfast for us on most days that we're there. There will be relaxation as well as spa, in-house spa. If that is, if we can get, if you're interested in that, um, uh, we need to get our numbers so that we can let people know that we need their services. So we also have a in-house artist, so to speak, Mr. Ra Herring, who will be leading us in art journaling, along with wellness journaling. The tool that I love to use will be doing journaling, reflecting on what brought us all to Mexico City, how the day has been, how you were doing, and you'll be able to connect with like-minded people or people you haven't met, or go it alone. And it's all up to you. But I'd like to encourage you to experience Mexico City. It was a place that I considered actually moving to, and and I still consider it a plan B or an additional place to live. So, I feel blessed that I have these opportunities. You too have these opportunities if you want them, and decide, allow yourself to dream, uh, dream the dreams, or take action, intentional action at making a change for yourself. Life is very long, and life can be long and it can be miserable, or it can go by and you create what you want, so that you aren't feeling stuck in angst, in sorrow. There's so much for you to do and see if you so choose. And I just so happen to be one of those persons who loves to see new things, different things, and that may not be for everyone. I do know that. But if you are willing to open yourself up to explore at the age of 50 or and older, I say, come on, let's do it. Let's do it. And see how far you can go. Yeah, and enjoy life. Enjoy what's out here. Yeah, there's plenty of life to live. So it's been great. Do me a favor. If you've liked this video, do me a favor, like, subscribe, ring the notification bell, and come back and listen in on another video that I have. Take care, be well, and I'll see you again. Next time it'll probably be from Pennsylvania, Pennsylvania, or Mexico, actually. But you can journal with me on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Actually, I should have told you that earlier. Journal with me on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Bring your paper, pen, pencil, paintbrush, a canvas, whatever you want to document what comes to your heart, mind, or spirit. We write in free flow mode. Um, and we've been working with affirmations. And in fact, we finish up next week with our collection of affirmations, um, that we uplift ourselves with, right? We celebrate ourselves with affirming ourselves in the positive, powerful statements that we write for ourselves. So join me to journal with me on Tuesdays and Thursday mornings. Like, subscribe, ring the notification bell. Remember to register for the retreat. Yeah, relax, connect, and explore Mexico City, April 10th through the 16th. We want to see you there. Please do come. Please do come. I'll leave some information in the description box also, so that you can do all of that. All right. It's been great to talk to you today, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. All right. Much love to you.